So after 6 months and 2,500 kilometers of cycling on Ontario's rail trails, backcountry roads, road, and even a little bit of light mountain biking trails, was the premium investment I made in the Trek Checkpoint SL6 worth it? I'll hang around, I'll let you know. So let's take a little bit of a walk through with the features of this bike, starting with the most important, the frame. So the frame, again, is a premium carbon frame on this Checkpoint here. You can see it's got, you know, in terms of the thickness of these tubes, and this bottom bracket is really big and chunky. So the experience on this really does smooth out the ride. Of course, some of that has to do with the kind of tire choice you use as well. It's got 40 millimeter Gravel Kings on there. But the frame's really good. The integrated front there has been a nice touch as well. And there again, you can see the kind of clearance you're going to get on there. So in terms of compliance, it comes with this carbon seat post, which has been fine. And the ISO speed, as you can see here, basically tries to separate, you know, the post from the frame. So it gives you some compliance when you're hitting, you know, chunkier stuff. So what do I think of that? I think quite honestly, it's actually maybe a little more beneficial on asphalt on the road. As you know, Ontario roads in this part of Canada can be probably rougher than these smooth rail trails I'm on here. And it can definitely help to just level out some of the vibration. To get the carbon frame certainly helps with that, and the carbon rims I have on this bike. So I don't know if it's something I would buy the bike for on its own. I think if with gravel, as I've mentioned in some of my reviews on a couple of the other suspension products I've used, you may be just as good getting a little bit larger volume tires to kind of get more compliance on the bike. So the SRAM Rival group set has been amazing. So it comes with a 1044, which is a little bit lower bottom range than you'll get with the SL5 that comes with the lower version of this group set. So it's electronic. So the battery, I've changed this battery twice. So I do about every 1,000 kilometers to get out of the battery for the rear derailleurs. The batteries in the shifters, I guess you can do them like once a year. Haven't had any problems with them. The nice thing with this is just the shifting on this is just so crisp. You can see when you click it just how precise it is and how immediate it is. It's my first experience using an electronic group shift and SRAM, and I've had absolutely no issues with it. It's really been nice. So I've had mostly 2x. Shimano's on my other bikes. My most recent one, the Kona Rove, had a GRX 2x group set, which has been amazing. It's all mechanical. It's been really good, but the move to this was really quite immediate. I never really felt like I've missed having that second chainring up front. The 1x is really nice and simple. Seems to have enough range for the kind of cycling I do in the relatively flat Ontario that I'm in. In terms of the rims that come with this and the tires, are going to be Bontrager Comp 25, which is a bit of an upgraded rim than you'll get with the SL5. And it's definitely quicker engagement when you step on it. It definitely goes well. It comes with the Bontrager Drone 42 millimeter tires. So I haven't had a lot of time in them because I swapped them out. I did have a ride or two on it with this, and a ride or two on my Kona that is now sporting those. And they've actually been quite good. I think I would be, if I hadn't had the carbon rims, I would have been completely fine to use those. So let's talk about how this bike's been on various terrains. So the obvious one, number one, is gravel. So it's been fantastic on gravel. It's a gravel bike, because most gravel bikes I've been on are great with that. Again, I think I have two other gravel bikes to compare it to. So this is my first carbon gravel bike, so there is probably the biggest difference. I've had a carbon endurance road bike as well. And just again, super plush, super comfy. It's the first thing I noticed, especially when I put the SMP saddle on, is that it was really comfortable. And, you know, really gave up nothing to the Kona. It's a little bit more aggressive in terms of the geometry, as I mentioned, but Overall, it's been great. So as I mentioned, I do a lot of all-road riding, so which basically means I may start at home, hit the road for a while, then I'm going through the cemetery that has gravel, chunky gravel, then I'm on the road again, then I hit the trail again. So again, you know, at the minimum I would want to have an endurance road bike, but as I mentioned, I wanted bigger clearance. So on the road, it's been great. Done a few strictly road rides with it. Certainly been really comfortable. Definitely an improvement over the Kona. I would say overall my speed, I'm not that overly worried about the speed, being a aging cyclist, but I would say probably between 1 to 1.5 kilometers per hour faster on the road and gravel compared to what I was doing last year. The last couple of bikes I had, especially the Kona, and I had a giant TCX, I noticed a big difference, just how happy that bike was once I got off the road and hit the gravel. It almost had a sigh of relief. I haven't noticed that as much with this bike. It seems equally comfortable on both. Some of that is also due to the tires, but again, I have a semi-slick on there now with a really good clearance. So I'm actually thinking, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I was keeping a 40 on the back with a semi-slick, and then maybe going to a 45 with a bit more grip and chunk on the front next year. After doing that latest video of the K Havelock Trail, where it's about 10 kilometers with loose chunky stuff, the bike fared really well, but it was definitely could use something with a little more volume. So as you can see here, I actually had the opportunity to do a little bit of light mountain biking this year at the Tall Pines ride, and also sometimes we go through Sandbanks Provincial Park. There's a few sections that are kind of like single track with some routes and a little bit rougher and chunkier. So I am not a mountain cyclist, so I'm not comfortable at all on those in terms of really, you know, putting this bike to the true test. So after 6 months and 2,500 kilometers of cycling through Ontario's the best it has to offer of all sorts of gravel, rail trails, road cycling, even a little bit of mountain cycling, I can honestly say my investment was well spent. This bike is very versatile, very comfortable. I really have enjoyed riding it. I've really only had my other bike out maybe a couple of times since I've got it, so that's a pretty true sign that I'm really enjoying riding this bike. The versatility of this bike allows you to have the option to hit all sorts of terrain on one ride, which happens with me all the time, so I really like that capability of it. It's equally suited for someone who's, you know, a competitive cyclist, to someone who's a recreational cyclist that wants a premium product. I really enjoyed the, you know, the SRAM AXS electronic shifting, and the group selling this has been completely fine. The carbon frame is super comfortable and super capable. Nice combination of being comfortable and stiff. And I can't wait to ride a little bit more this year and then really hit the roads again next spring. Well, I hope you found that helpful. If you did, make sure you give the video a like. Consider subscribing to the channel. I'll have more product reviews coming. I also have lots of different rides and adventures on the channel you may want to check out. And make sure you share the video with people who might be interested in this bike. I'd love to hear from you again. If you have any comments, you have a checkpoint, you're thinking of getting a checkpoint, make sure you leave a comment below. Until next time.